Imagine you are 6 years old, chosen by fate and by the priests of Rome. Your family celebrates, but you do not yet understand what it means. You have been selected as a Vestal Virgin, sworn to protect the sacred flame of Vesta. To Rome, you are holy. To yourself, you are now property of the state. Would you survive this life of honor, isolation, and unimaginable pressure? You are taken from your home, never to return. Your parents give you up proudly, for to have a daughter chosen as a Vestal is the highest honor. But for you, childhood ends immediately. The moment you step into the house of the Vestals, nestled beside the Roman Forum, you are no longer simply a girl. You are a living symbol of Rome's power, and every citizen expects perfection from you. Training begins at once. You are taught rituals, chants, and the strict discipline of silence. The sacred fire must never be extinguished, and if it goes out, it is believed Rome itself is doomed. Imagine being a child and knowing the fate of an empire rests on your small shoulders. Inside the marble courtyard of the Vestal complex, you live apart from ordinary Romans. You are forbidden from marrying, from raising a family, from even speaking casually with men. To the outside world, you are revered, honored with front row seats at gladiator games and processions. You are carried in public litters, treated as sacred, but beneath the white veil and crimson ribbons, your life is one of loneliness and constant fear of failure. Even the smallest mistake, spilling water during a ritual, a misstep in ceremony, can bring shame. The public watches you like hawks. Senators whisper. Superstition spreads fast. You may be praised as divine, but in truth, you are one misfortune away from being condemned. The symbolism of your existence is heavy. The sacred fire is Rome's heartbeat. As long as it burns, the gods favor the city. And you, a young girl cloaked in white, are chained to that duty for 30 years. Imagine the weight. 3 decades of silence, obedience, and sacrifice. You can watch Rome change. Emperors rise and fall, wars won and lost, but you cannot change your own destiny. To break your vow, even in thought, means death. And so, though the world calls you blessed, you slowly realize your life is not your own. It belongs to Rome. But Rome is merciless. The world sees you as sacred, yet the moment you falter, that holiness turns into horror. If the sacred fire goes out under your watch, the entire city whispers your name with fear. And if you ever betray your vow of chastity, even through suspicion alone, the punishment is unthinkable. You would not be whipped. You would not be exiled. You would be buried alive, lowered into a dark chamber beneath the earth with only a loaf of bread and a flicker of oil, left to vanish in silence. No blood was to be spilled, for you were too holy to be executed directly. Rome gave you the cruelest mercy, slow, hidden death. Yet your life is not only shadow and terror. As a Vestal, you walk where no other Roman woman can. You own land, you can make wills, and even powerful senators bow their heads in your presence. Prisoners sentenced to death may be spared if they cross your path. When you ride in your litter, crowds part in awe. But deep inside, you know the truth. These privileges are a gilded cage. You are free in law, yet chained in spirit. You are honored in life, yet haunted by the fate that awaits any misstep. The decades blur. From the marble steps of your sanctuary, you watch Rome's empire swell. Conquests in far lands, emperors crowned and assassinated. Children you once knew grow old and die while you remain, untouched by family, untouched by love. The white veil on your head grows heavier with every passing year. 30 years of service, 30 years of devotion, and finally the day comes when you are released. You are free to marry, free to live as an ordinary Roman citizen. But tell me, what man would marry a woman who has lived 3 decades in sacred isolation? What kind of life can begin after so much has been taken away? And so your story ends where it began. In silence, in duty, in shadows. To Rome, you are eternal, a living sacrifice for the glory of the state. To yourself, you are a question with no answer. Was this life, holy, honored, yet stolen, truly a blessing? Or was it the cruelest curse Rome could give a young girl? Would you have survived as a Vestal Virgin? Let us know in the comments below. And before you go, don't let my eternal flame burn out. Hit subscribe or the gods might just assign you 30 years of temple duty.